What's going on, everybody? Have I got a really good one for you today? It has to do with my Silverado here that I got. I haven't really showed you guys this truck before. But this is a 2010 Silverado that I got. I've had it a little over 2 years, I think, something like that. I bought it at an auction and the engine was all torn apart in there. Got it pretty cheap. Ordered a replacement engine from eBay, threw it in there. It's just a 5.3. Runs great, drive it all the time. Don't have any issues really for the most part. But the check engine light comes on. It's come on 3 times now. That's not as alarming or weird as when and how it comes on, alright? So, just to reiterate, I drive this truck like every day. I drove it all the time around town, different places. I never have an issue with it at all. But I do take it places, like on trips, and that's where I have this issue, and it's super strange. So, I essentially live in Boise, Idaho, and I take road trips to Oregon occasionally. I think it was probably a year ago. I went from Boise here, I drove on the freeway all the way to Portland, Oregon, and then I drove from Portland south all the way to a town called Coos Bay, which is the southern Oregon coast area. It's mostly freeway driving. Did it all in one shot, right? No problems at all. I drove back like a few days later, took the exact same route, and coming back on the freeway from Portland here, there's a spot. I have a GPS that tells me like how much distance I have left and things like that. But there's an area about 100 miles away from home here, and there's like just kind of just a downhill grade. It's not really like anything major, just kind of a downhill slope in the freeway. And that first trip back, the check engine light came on like in the middle of this hill. And I mean, no alarms went off, no chimes, the dash display didn't say anything weird on it, all the gauges were normal. The light just came on, like, don't know why. So I checked everything out. There's like a rest stop just a few miles past this hill area. So I pull in there, go over everything, check all the fluids, make sure like the fuel filler, the gas cap is tight, because I've heard that can cause a check engine light sometimes. Can't find nothing wrong, it seems good, so I just continue back to town, get home, put a scanner on it, and it says, like, I can't remember the code name or number, but it was like multiple misfire, which I guess can be a common thing to happen on these. Anyway, so we clear the code off, I don't have another problem at all. A few months later, I make the same exact trip again, okay? Go to Portland on the freeway, down to Coos Bay, spend some time over there, come back, drive the entire, up the freeway through Oregon, back across from Portland over here to Idaho again, the exact same route. I drive it all in one day, just like the first time, and I get to within a mile of that little hill that I was talking about. Check engine light comes on again. Like, that's really random to me. It wasn't exactly in the exact same spot, but it was super close. It just was like, why would it do that? So I check everything out again. I stopped at that rest area once more. Can't find nothing. Just continue on home. Pull a code, and it's multiple misfire again. So, again, there's nothing weird about this part of the freeway, like where this hill area is. There's no weird bumps. It's not a super downgrade. It's just, I'm just like cruising. Like, I got the cruise control on, just driving, and the light just comes on. Nothing else happens. Okay, so this last weekend here, I drove just to Portland. Drove over there on the freeway, spent the night, came back. Drove back, I made a couple different stops than I would have on those previous 2 trips, got some food and different things like that. I'd shut the truck off when I stopped for gas and things. So I'm coming back, my GPS says I'm like 100 miles away. No check engine light yet, and I'm thinking, like, I'm near the spot in the freeway where this hill is, like this has happened before, and I'm thinking like, there's no way it can do this the 3rd time, right? Like, I'm just kind of like, watching my dash, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen, it should be fine. So I get on that little hill, and I'm like, oh, we're good. I get to the bottom of the hill, boom, check engine light comes on. It's like really weird. and you know, and I was like 96 miles from home, same exact spot, this hill thing. I don't understand it. Kind of interested to see if you guys have comments on this, if you've experienced something similar, or what you think this might be. So, like this area, it's just out in the desert. There's nothing weird there that I know of. But, like, you know, the first time this happened, I was in the middle of that hill. The second time I was about a mile before it, and this third time I was actually just coming off the bottom of the hill. The hill is probably, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile, mile long, just kind of a sloping downhill thing in the freeway, right? So it's not like it happened in the exact same spot, but I mean, pretty close. It's just really weird, right? I got home, nothing's weird, I mean, it's fine. The fluids are fine, nothing crazy. Like, you can plug the scan tool in and there's nothing weird in any of the engine data, because it'll tell you like when the engine light came on, like engine temps and air fuels and different, all kinds of stuff. Nothing seems weird or out of the scope of, you know, regular running. So yeah, it's just weird. I want to share that with you guys today. If you've had something similar happen, or you have some idea why that might occur, but I mean, like I said, there's no bumps in the road there. Like, I think if you hit a hard enough bump, a knock sensor can trigger on these. Nothing like that. I'm just cruising, coasting. You know, I got cruise control on. I think the cruise control's been on every time, but like, I drive hundreds of miles before this and nothing happened. So it's just trying to eliminate what factors might be here. So anyways, let me know what you think. Just a strange story for today. Catch you guys later.